We knew Mendeecees had his share of drama, but who would have expected that Jasmine Bleu would be out here lying through her teeth? And we finally secured the receipts to expose her. I want to ask you a question. What happens when your lies catch up with you? What happens when you spend so much time in this Mendeecees? Did she truly assume we wouldn't connect the dots? Because the internet never forgets, Jasmine is going to learn the hard way. Let's say her little fairy tale, that even you can no longer discern what is true, is disintegrating swiftly, with DNS's secret phone calls and a lot of tea that will leave everyone in shock. Oh Yandy, she's really holding back this time. You won't believe what she had to prepare for more drama than a reality TV season finale, as we analyze Jasmine's tangled web of lies. Now, let's explore the stunning truth behind Jasmine's lies. Just when we thought the situation between Jasmine and myself couldn't get any uglier, a whole new level of duplicity and trust was unveiled. Hold on tight, for this tea is getting hot. It's absurd, in my opinion, that Jasmine Bleu has been ensnared in a web of deceit. This time, the receipts are irrefutable, but the true question is why she lied, and what Yandy Smith has to do with it. Let's go back a bit, since we all know Owens Harris, the hip-hop mogul reality TV star, and what I'm about to say will make you think about everything. Let's face it, a man whose name is synonymous with drama has had an endless series of headlines throughout his life, from his earlier legal difficulties to his rocky romance with Yandy Smith. We got Jasmine Bleu, a woman who seemed to materialize out of nowhere and surprise the internet with her bombs, allegations, and now a web of lies that is finally bringing everything to light. Jasmine gave a picture of a clandestine romantic betrayal when she made some surprising charges about Mendeecees. And let's not forget the cultural uproar that followed. The media went crazy over Jasmine, believing whatever she said, and they published a lot about her. However, things started to go strange. Statements started to contradict one another, and all of a sudden the story didn't seem so convincing. This is where things get extremely odd. Jasmine stated that she and Ems had been covertly involved for years. She described lavish trips, pricey presents, and private moments that allegedly took place behind closed doors. But as people began to explore the timeline, yes, it appeared wobbly. And let me tell you that when the internet begins to dig into things, you can be sure that the truth will eventually surface. Sources close to me have now come out to speculate. They're calling BS on Jasmine's whole account, claiming that she was never that close to Ems, and that she exaggerated their interactions, even lying outright about they and the supporting evidence. Of it's juicy. We're talking about conflicting text messages, images that have been manipulated, and even phony screenshots that she purportedly used to support her accusations. But this is where it becomes even more intriguing. Nasty at Yandy Smith, you guys. Normally when drama arises, Yandy is the first to clap back. But this time, there was radio silence, and you know what that indicates? That there are rumors circulating that Yandy is aware that Jasmine is lying, but she is remaining silent since she doesn't want to fuel the flames by wasting energy on pointless things. Yes, but other people say she's just waiting for the proper occasion to make a big splash. Speaking of social media, the internet is swallowing this. There are Twitter threads examining every word of Jasmine's Instagram pages is devoted to disclosing the truth. And let's not neglect the blogs, as they are having a great time with this. Some admirers are even urging that Jasmine, while some people support her and believe that her remarks are still genuine, let me tell you something that even Wilder Jasmine might not have been. It's a battle zone out here. Working alone, you read me correctly. There are suspicions that someone else has been encouraging her to sustain this act, feeding her fake information, coaching her, and even paying her to do so. You know what, the finger is being aimed at a person who is extremely close to Ems. Might it be an ex, a former business partner, or a bitter family member? They are set on removing him, and Jasmine, well, she might only play the part in this whole intricate game. Now let's talk about these so-called receipts. Jasmine vowed to have communications indicating that Mendeecees was in love with her. But guess what? Experts examined those texts, and let's just say that Photoshop is an excellent tool. The texts seem to have been edited with various typefaces, mismatched timestamps, and of course, the walls are closing in on Jasmine since Camp maintains they never happened. And let's not overlook that supposed leaked phone conversation where Mendeecees supposedly stated his feelings for her. Well, specialists who evaluated the audio are raising major doubts. Some think the call sounds edited, almost like several tapes were put together to create a certain story. Could this be another twist in an already complex story? Meanwhile, Mendeecees has been managing things carefully. Instead of explicitly addressing Jasmine's charges, he's been sending cryptic comments that many assume are subtle replies to the situation. But the truth has a way of surfacing, and Jasmine's version of events is starting to unravel. The genuine tipping point: a former acquaintance of hers just stepped forward with alarming claims. According to this insider, Jasmine apparently revealed in private that she adjusted key portions of her tale to make it more plausible. And this isn't just talk. There are conversations, screenshots, and receipts proving that she was fully aware that her assertions weren't ironclad. So what happens now? Will Jasmine try to defend herself and stick to her version, or will she ultimately address the mounting skepticism before things spiral even further? One thing is clear: her reputation is hanging by a thread. And then there's Yandy, who has been seeing everything unfold. It appears like she and Mendeecees are allowing Jasmine's own words come back to haunt her. But trust me, this thing is far from over. The deeper we investigate, the more unexpected details arise. People are now stating that Jasmine went to tremendous measures to make her statements sound more convincing. We're talking about carefully picked images, selectively presented messages, and things that are raising a lot of questions. The crisis is growing swiftly, and the repercussions might be disastrous. But don't worry, we're taking it all down step by step. And just when we thought this drama couldn't take another unexpected turn, it does. The internet is bustling, and the conversations are getting even more passionate. If you thought Jasmine being revealed was the apex of this drama, think again. More details are emerging, and let's just say that they're not in her favor. Jasmine has supposedly been giving a very different story behind closed doors. And now, many who were once supporting her are starting to question everything. Screenshots, voice notes, and other receipts have been circulating, making some wonder just how much of this was truly true. This is where things become even messier, because up until now, Mendeecees has been fairly quiet. But now he's making it plain that there's another side to this story. Online detectives are piecing things together, and every new revelation is adding another layer to this already complex scenario. According to fresh reports, Mendeecees believes Jasmine wasn't as innocent as she initially made herself out to be. And now that the cracks in her story are emerging, she's trying to keep up. But let's rewind for a moment. Do you recall how this all started? When Jasmine first came forward, she made surprising statements that had everyone questioning Mendeecees. But when additional material arose, discrepancies in her allegations were harder to ignore. And now it's looking like the situation might not be as straightforward as it seemed. It's always funny how the loudest charges typically come from people who have their own secrets to hide. And now, some are wondering, how much did Jasmine truly know from the start? Could this have been part of a wider plan? And what does this mean for Yandy? Well, according to reports, Yandy is totally certain that Jasmine was setting this up for a while. If there was ever a chance of their finding common ground, that seems unthinkable anymore. But here's where it gets even more chaotic. Jasmine's own circle seems to be turning against her. You see, when people realize they've been misled, they don't just stay mute. They start conversing. And now, additional persons who were formerly close to her are coming out with new information. Allegedly, Jasmine understood from the beginning that her version of events wasn't as powerful as she made it seem, but she believed she could control the narrative. She felt she could swing the discourse in her favor, but she misjudged how deeply people would analyze the specifics. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse for her, there are whispers that she had a backup plan, something she was prepared to unleash if everything started coming apart. Reports imply that Jasmine may have had extra evidence set up, presumably to draw the spotlight away from contradictions in her tale. But before she could put that into action, new details surfaced that changed everything. Now, others are questioning whether this entire situation was meticulously created from the outset. The internet is brutal when it comes to digging up the truth, and this instance is no exception. As additional information emerges, Jasmine is running out of methods to protect herself. The backlash is building, and the situation is slipping farther out of her control. So where does this leave everything? Is Jasmine going to stay by her assertions, or will she ultimately face the rising doubts? And what about Mendeecees and Yandy? Are they going to answer directly? Or they continue letting the facts speak for themselves? One thing's for sure, this isn't over yet. Stay tuned for Chapter 2. Because trust me, this story is going to take an even wilder turn. The social media streets are on fire, and every hour brings new revelations. If you thought things were intense before, just wait. Because the following chapter is going to be even more combustible. Someone in her own camp turned on her, and the story now is uncontrollably. The internet has officially turned against her, and the damage control is currently looking pretty sloppy. The question now is, what will happen next? Because after giving the public their witnessing, and the fact that Mendeecees and Yandy aren't playing into her shenanigans longer, Jasmine appears to be in a difficult place with little options. Even some of the largest gossip blogs that first named Jasmine are now recanting their assertions following the ACT, understanding that they may have been fed a sloppy platter of lies. Speaking of falsehoods, let's discuss Jasmine's handling of everything, because she is hurriedly altering her path after making bold comments and stepping 10 toes down on her charges, alleging that she was misinterpreted. Oh, how misinterpreted Jasmine was, because it was so evident from those early words that you wanted people to believe a certain viewpoint about Mendeecees, but now that the roles have been reversed, it's, well, that's not what I meant, girl, please. What's even more hilarious is that, in spite of everything, some individuals are still out. Here, you're defending her as if it makes sense. How come you're still writing for someone who was eventually exposed lying? You have to accept that the person you're writing for might not be. It's growing so ludicrous that they're acting like a victim. But the worst thing is that this situation could not even be done yet, because there are whispers that everything is about to take a tremendous swing again. I'm talking about legal threats, more receipts going down, and potentially even a full-fledged public statement from Mendeecees and Baby if that occurs. It's over for Jasmine, because concerning Mendeecees, he doesn't move until everything is in line. So if he's prepared to speak up again, you can be sure he's got something significant up his last but not least. This drama is becoming more intricate by the moment, and we haven't finished yet. Part 3 is about to get even more exciting, so get your popcorn ready, because the big ending is almost here. You won't want to miss this next, I swear. Just when you thought this narrative could get much stranger, another layer of craziness surfaces, showing Jasmine Bleu's web of. The internet is going crazy about lies, but guess who isn't keeping quiet? Yandy Smith. Oh, she's not going to let this go. And you already know that when she talks, she makes sure the whole. As the Globe continued to scrutinize Jasmine's most recent behavior, Yandy took to social media, and I can guarantee you that she wasn't holding back. She went live on Instagram, digging into the you would think that since Mendeecees was pulled into this mess, he would be the one to do it. But the camera showed her on a mission, and she was furious, ready to drag everyone, leading the charge. But no, Yandy had everything covered, and her life began in an iconic way before she struck a record and fled. I've been silent for long enough, but you guys need to hear the truth. I can't sit back and stop allowing these lies to proliferate." And the internet as a whole caught its breath at that very moment, wondering if she was going to tell something big and release even more receipts. Call out, Jasmine. Let's just say that what transpired next left everyone in disbelief, because Yandy didn't simply call out Jasmine. Oh no, she went straight for her credibility and began enumerating all Jasmine has been caught in contradictions on multiple occasions, pointing out that this wasn't the first time she did this. To make matters worse, she snapped screenshots. We don't entirely know who was feeding Yandy this information, but CIS was ready, so she began browsing through her phone, analyzing messages, timestamps, and other details. People were posting so quickly in the comment area when those screenshots surfaced that you felt they were attempting to divulge one of the biggest bombshells, their own FBI files. In fact, Yandy shared texts from months prior in which Jasmine was appealing for influence. Yes, you read correctly. Jasmine Bleu was attempting to enter the fray in order to garner. Yes, you read correctly. Jasmine Bleu was attempting to enter the fray in order to garner attention, and Jasmine has been conspiring to have the girl cancel her because the comments section was merciless. And she even implied that she would be prepared to say anything needed to be said in order to garner some headlines. I understood right immediately there was a problem with her, but now that she's done it, Yandy is dropping receipts like a grocery shop clerk, and I'm here for it. Suddenly, Jasmine Bleu's image plummeted. Big nosedive. Within 24 hours, people were unfollowing her, dragging her, and demanding that she be removed. However, don't lose up, because just when you believed things were going to get better, they started to do so. Jasmine's predicament could not be worse when another plot twist unfolds. You recall how silent Mendeecees had been the entire time. Well, it turns out that he was holding on to something significant, because guess what, he truly had his own receipts. And late that evening, Mendeecees uploaded a cryptic narrative on Instagram with no caption, just a screen snap of a few texts. And B, why did it lead the internet to go crazy? People zoomed in, analyzed each word to understand its meaning, and then all of a sudden he made a pronouncement. To put it bluntly, Jasmine was unprepared for what followed, since Mendeecees declared outright that he is done with the falsehoods, confirming that Jasmine has been lying for months, and that he has evidence that she has been doing so. He has been keeping some things private out of respect for his family, spreading false information on blogs, making the comment area a battleground where people were working like detectives to piece everything together. And as if that wasn't enough, Yandy returned to revealing yet another shocking revelation. She implied that Jasmine had previously been caught engaging in this behavior with another celebrity, but was able to ignore it. At this point, Jasmine Bleu's whole, she sought to repair the damage by posting a message explaining how people were misinterpreting her and putting things out of context, but no one answered. The story was tumbling like a house of cards, was buying it. By the following morning, she had deactivated her Instagram comments, and speculations emerged that Browns was secretly parting from her. However, just when you think the dust is dropping, after the settling boom, there's more drama when someone, most likely an old buddy of Jasmine's, chose to reveal some old DMs that proved she had been preparing this for a long. Let's just say that those DMs didn't look good on her. They were full of clumsy plans, and in one communication, Jasmine referenced stirring trouble and manipulating controversy to seek attention. Said that people devour this drama, and that all I need to do is leave a few clues, with the bloggers taking care of the rest. Excuse me, do you mean to tell me that this whole affair was actually a game to her at this point? Had enough hashtags going viral, people were dragging her about, and some even demanding that she be placed on a formal blacklist in the industry. As for Yandy and Mendeecees, well, they were the moral of the narrative, was that while Mendeecees was busy sitting back and watching Jasmine Blue's empire of lies crumble apart in front of her eyes, blossoming Yandy was earning acclaim for standing her ground. Is this the end of Jasmine Blue's career, or do you believe she'll try again? Jasmine Bleu just won the biggest L of 2025, because when you play foolish games, you get dumb rewards. To recuperate in the event that Yandy and his file a lawsuit, and above all, who will be the next to be exposed? Please leave your comments, click the like button, and be sure to subscribe. Sincerely, this tea is far from done. And there you have it, people. Jasmine Bleu believed she could win the game, but the internet never forgets the lies, treachery, and power. The actual question is, where do you go from here? Will you lay low and hope people forget? Because everything came apart more fast than she could delete her Instagram remarks. Or is she already preparing her next clumsy move? What about Yandy Smith and Mendeecees? Should they go to court or provide even more receipts? I'd love to know what you folks think, so hit the tell me in the comments if Jasmine is finished for good, or if a comeback is imminent. Trick. And if you believe that this tea was, I promise you that we have much more mess approaching you, so be sure you watch this video, follow the channel, and activate those alerts due to there is always drama on these streets. Keep an eye out, keep Mendeecees, and I'll see you in the following one, you all.